Hi, welcome to my latest video. Today I'm going to be changing the front fog light bulbs on my Land Rover Freelander 2. This is a 2.2 litre diesel 2009 XS model. Note that this is the pre-facelift design with the oval shaped front fog lights. The facelift model from around 2012 onwards has different shaped front fog lights. Okay, so I'm sure the procedure is very similar for changing the bulbs, but this video will be looking at this older model and the oval shaped front fog lights. What type of bulb am I going to be fitting to these front fog lights? I'm going to be fitting these. These are Osram Fog Breaker. Note that they're yellow light. They're not LED, these are normal bulbs with an element. Why am I fitting yellow lights? It's because yellow light penetrates fog a lot better than white light. White light gets reflected back. So if I was to fit bluey white LED bulbs, or even Osram night breaker bulbs or something like that, the white light won't be much use in the fog. It'll just reflect straight back and you'll just see a big white wall of fog. Yellow light penetrates a lot further through moisture, water vapor in the air, fog, even snow and heavy rain. Yellow light is a lot better. This is why some cars, in particular older French cars, had yellow headlights. It's not so common these days, but there's no reason why we shouldn't fit yellow fog lights. I looked at the UK lighting regulations. I think the website is legislation.gov.uk, and you can look up the construction and use regulations and the lighting regulations for cars. These are allowed. Yellow lights, white or yellow, is allowed for fog lights, even though it does say off-road use only. That's not because of the colour, that's because they're quite bright. Okay, I'm only going to be turning these on in severe reduced visibility, so I don't really see a problem with that. Why am I not fitting LED lights? That's all the rage these days. LEDs are the way to go. I have fitted LEDs to my main beam. You can see just about in there, there are some LED bulbs in there. They're great. I've not fitted LEDs to the dip beam, partly because the beam pattern is all wrong with LEDs, but also the most important reason, which everyone forgets, is LEDs don't get very hot. So when you're driving in snow and ice, freezing fog, or even just regular fog where there's a lot of moisture building up on the front surface of the light, if the lights don't get warm, they're not going to melt the ice and evaporate off the moisture. It's very important, especially in the winter. Certainly in the UK we have freezing fog and icy mornings. You do need a bit of warmth in the lights, so I've got Philips Diamond Vision bulbs in here, which are a sort of like a pure bluey white light. They look like LEDs, but they are good old-fashioned element bulbs that get nice and hot. For the fog lights, exactly the same applies. There's no point in putting LEDs in there. Next time you go out in freezing fog, they're just going to ice up. You need to have a bit of warmth. That's why I'm fitting these. You can see there, they are element bulbs. These are H11, okay, so H11 type. Let's see if we can have a look in there. They are the type with the sort of plug on the bottom of them. So it's got a black plastic kind of sort of bulb holder type thing with the electrical plug actually on the side. So like a right angled plug. My main and dip beam on this car use H7s, which are the ones with the two sort of plus and minus terminals, like spade terminals sticking out the back. They go sort of straight out the back, not a right angled. Some Freelander 2s use H11s in the headlights. Some have the high intensity discharge, gas discharge light. So just check your bulb type before you start sort of buying up new bulbs. As far as I know, I might be wrong here, but as far as I know, all front fog lights on Freelander 2s are H11, but do check yours before you buy. On the headlights, you can actually see, it actually says there, can't quite read that, H7, D1S is the alternative type, I think, if you've got the xenon gas discharge. But H7s are used in both of these. Your car may be different. There's some of the later Freelander 2s do use H11s instead of H7, so check first. For the fog lights, it's these, the H11s. So I'm going to take out the standard factory fog light bulbs, which are probably just 55 watt, standard, dim, creamy white coloured light, and I'm going to put these in. So what we're going to do, it's very, very easy to do. We need to remove this. Best way to remove that is you just push here. Push there. Get your fingers under there. This is flexible, it's plastic. Push in, get your fingers under, and just pull it out like that. There's a couple of barbed clips here, and it comes out. So you can see here, there are a couple of slots here to help you line it up again when you put in. Those slots go onto these sort of little fins there and there. So putting it back in, dead easy, you just push it back in, pull it out. To get the actual lamp out, if the bulb was fitted from the back, you have to take this whole lamp unit out and then disconnect the bulb from the back. There are 4 screws here. Hopefully you can see that. It's bright sunlight today for once. You can see there are some Torx head screws, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Undo those, and this whole unit will pull forward out of the front bumper. So I'm going to go and get my Torx driver now, and we'll undo those and see what it looks like. Undo those. I've undone the other 3 already. I'll just see if we can pull that forward without losing any of the screws. There they are, they're dropping down. As long as they're not falling down. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Make sure I'm not losing those. So that is it. That is the fog light unit. And you can see here, I think it looks like some sort of adjustment, maybe for the beam. I'm not sure. But we can then do this without dropping it and breaking it. I'll do this with one hand. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect this and then put it up on. I'm going to pop the bonnet and put it up on here so we can have a better look at it. Right, there's the lamp unit disconnected. There's the connector. This bit here is all part of the bulb. That was a little bit fiddly to remove. I was trying to prise off this tab here to take the grey bit away from the black bit, and it just wasn't coming away. Then I realised there's other tabs at the side here. So these black ones either side are the ones that you need to carefully sort of prise back, and then it is a bit tricky to pull it out because it does have this sort of triple ribbed sort of rubber seal which goes into there. It's quite a snug fit, so you have to sort of pop the tabs and then wiggle that until it comes apart. So let's have a quick look at this unit here. Just see what we've got. There are a few strange looking things. This wheel thing here, I don't know if that I'm guessing is some sort of beam adjustment thumb wheel or something. I'm not sure what this weird blue cap on there. Not I'm not sure. I'm not going to start messing about with this. That does look like a beam adjustment, but I don't feel the need to start playing with the beam alignment. We'll just leave it exactly where it was. I don't even know if they check the fog light beam in the MOT, but it's passed the last sort of 10 years, no problem, so I'll leave that exactly where it is. The bulb is a kind of push and twist sort of fit, so we do that and then lift that out. Okay, so that is, blow off the grass that's wrapped around it. That is the bulb. Okay, so that is the bit that we change. We don't pull this silver piece out of the black bit, that doesn't come out. So it's like a bit like I guess that's like an H7 or H1 type of bulb with this connection piece on the back of it and a rubber seal around there. Okay, so let's just have a look, see if we can see any. Can't see any markings on the actual bulb itself. It's made by Philips H11. Difficult to read, very, very faded. I mean, that is probably the original factory fog light bulb. No doubt it will just be a standard brightness 55 watt bulb. So let's have a look at these amazing yellow bulbs. First challenge is figuring out how to open the box. There we go. Now, with all bulbs, you have to be very careful not to touch the glass. Don't touch the actual bulb surface, because the oils on your skin can then cause the glass to fail when it gets really hot, and then the bulb basically blows too soon. Now, I can't remember how this went in. Right, that tab there is wider than the other two, and looking at this, that one there is wider, so that goes in there, and then I think, which way does it turn? Yep, it's that way. So when that is fitted in the car, when that's fitted in, it's like that way up. Yeah, there's writing there. Okay, so it's fitted that way with the connector pointing downwards. That way any water or mud or whatever the hell gets all over the back of the light, whatever this is. I mean, it's fairly well protected in there. Actually, it's maybe not. I don't know. You know, that hole in there is it's not straight through to the wheel. It's got the inner wheel arch liner, the other side of it. But this, judging by the state of this, it does get splashed with a bit of water occasionally. So that's it. The only other thing that I might do is just get a bit of glass cleaner. Try and clean this up a bit. There seems to be sort of scum on the glass here. I don't think it's on the inside, because this is a fairly sealed unit, but it looks like it's just sort of baked on kind of mud, which probably just needs some kitchen surface cleaner or Windoline or something like that to just give that a good scrub, get that nice and cleaned up, fit that back in. I'll do the other side as well in a moment, and then when it's dark later, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to get that one refitted now, and I'll show you refitting the fog light surround. Don't forget to connect up the wiring, and what you're listening for is a click, double click, click, click of these two tabs. Make sure that both of those are clicked in over the barbs so that the wiring doesn't fall out the back once you've screwed it all back in. Push that all back in. You can see little green bits there with the holes in, so it's quite easy to see how that goes. push that like that, and then we'll try and get a bit of a balancing act here and try and get a screw on the end of my Torx driver and get that in there. Right, I'll get the other 3 in and then we'll refit the surround. I completely forgot to give this a clean. Should have done that before screwing it in. But, just give it a bit of a squirt with some glass cleaner. Nice and clean. Also just give bodywork a little bit of a white round. Okay, that is in there. To refit this, what we're looking for is that little notch there, and this little bit here. So you want to get that lined up. That's it. You just push it in. It doesn't really click in. It just sort of pops in and just stays there. Doesn't seem very. I was expecting a nice reassuring click there as I put that in, but no, it's in there. So I'm just going to turn on the fog lights now. Let's just turn on, quickly, just turn the ignition on. It'd be nice to just to compare, even though it's daylight. I just want to see fog light, front fog light. Tonight I'll do a shot in the dark. It'd just be good to compare white versus yellow. Okay, there we go. Doesn't look very bright in this sunlight. I would actually say that it's probably about the same brightness as the bulbs that were in there before, but it's the yellow light that I want really, rather than super bright fog lights. Otherwise, if they're too bright, I'm just going to end up with everybody flashing me saying turn your lights off. Far too bright. So just want to be able to see through that fog. So okay, well, I'll wait until it gets dark. I'm going to do the other side now. Wait until it gets dark, and then we'll see what it looks like in the dark. Hopefully it should look good. I'll have to wait for some fog though to do a proper test. It is very cold, even though it's nice and sunny today, but it is middle of January and it's about -5 at night at the moment, so hopefully won't have to wait too long for a foggy night. So when it is foggy, I'll do a quick video and see what it looks like. Okay. Right, here we are in the dark. I'm now going to turn on the new yellow fog lights and see what they look like. Take me back to when we found. So as you can see, they are now that it's dark, they are actually quite yellow and quite bright as well. I'm just going to turn the headlights off, put them on side lights, so that we can then just get a clearer view of how bright these are, because when I crouch down, the headlight is causing the phone to underexpose. Right, we go, side lights now. So these are ring LED side lights for about 6,000 Kelvin temperature. And we can see now the yellow of the fog lights, which are 2,600 Kelvin. There's quite a difference there. That looks good. I'm pleased with that. All I need now is some fog.